welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Lazima bonje. Au safe.
It's on. It's on. It's on. Good evening. Welcome to Spotlight. This is a special edition and it is 90 minutes long. Tonight, we delve into one of the most contentious conversations in the country today. And this conversation is surrounding the fight against corruption. Now, the UPND government has made this a cornerstone of their administration, leading to high-profile arrests and convictions, particularly within the former ruling party. But questions are being raised. Is this fight truly impartial, or is it targeted at those that are in the former ruling party? Tonight, we're honored to have as a prominent guest who features from the opposition, a man at the heart of these discussions. Now, please welcome Honorable Robert Chabinga, who is the Mafinga Member of Parliament, but also the acting president of the Patriotic Front. Honorable, good evening, and it's a pleasure having you in studio.
Good evening, Sage. Good evening, viewers throughout the country, wherever you're watching us from. It's been a great pleasure that I'm featuring today after a long time.
After a very long time.
Indeed.
And you have not been on any media until now, so we are humbled to have you firstly as a guest. Now, let's get straight into the topic for tonight, which is the corruption fight targeting the opposition? Now, with only about 340 days before voting day next year, how would you rate the UPND's fight against corruption thus far?
Thank you, Sage. First of all, I'll start by stating that I think rating them, but before I could rate, I just want to make one or two comments.
Sure.
First of all, for any country to develop, of course, we need to fight corruption. But corruption is in so many ways. So there's corruption where people perceive it consultancy, but inside there's corruption. It's unfortunate that the corruption worldwide is more centered in Africa, whereas when it is happening to the first, second world, it's not corruption. It is consultancy. And when it comes to Africa, purely it's an issue to do with corruption. But the question is, how does it start? Now here, the situation has been the victim of circumstances of corruption, mostly are politicians, as politicians. And that's why, really it's very, very important that when we're assuming these public offices, you need to have a clear conscience and you need to be straight in what you're doing. But because there's a wrong misconception that for you to go into politics, you need to go and eat and benefit. And I think this is where we're missing it all. But it must be vice versa. It must be the politics of serving the people. I'll give you an example. I want to give examples on myself. I will tell you that when I started in Mafinga, you know, when I went there to visit my relatives, I was very touched when I never visited in a long time. You can imagine, I'll tell you, and I'll tell you that honest truth. Me and my mother left Mafinga in about 1979, just when I was born. And then when we left the place, I went back in 2012. And you can imagine how the situation was when I was seeing the situation of the place not being developed. Then I took an interest. And my first interest was not for personal gain, is to help to uplift the living standard of our people. And I thanked God that when we left that place, really, it was a blessing. And then, but I think I was just some months, maybe 2 or 3. That is according to the records of my mother, because I was young. But then we went to Kitwe. And now, most of the people actually don't know that I'm a copper.
You don't sound like a copper.
Yeah, I'm a copper. I can even tell you that from the village, our first house that we occupied was in Chamboli at K24. Then we shifted from K24. We moved into H. So went to stay in H. Then we moved into Sakidi. And we used to stay at C427, just near Kana Stadium. There used to be what they used to call a stick where they used to sell charcoal. And from there again, we shifted. From there, went into Sirot, where I think there was just one line of the houses of footballers, or 2 lines. So we used to live in between. On our right-hand side, there was the late Kapamba Mlenga Gentile. On the other side, there was Mr. Jericho Shinde. Behind, there was Dick Shonga. And the other front, the front one was the late Godfrey Mselepete. So these were prominent footballers. So the issue that I just wanted to pick up that one. So I'm purely copper. And who are Corona Center, you know, when the center is produced from the other side. But I must tell you that if I cannot stand in Mafinga, that's a Usakira constituency, that's a constituency that I can stand.
That you can stand.
Exactly. Because I'm pure Kopala. My grandfather used to be purely a miner, you know. So now when I wanted to give you this example. Now going back to the issue of corruption, because going back to Mafinga and seeing that it was not developed, having a passion. So having a passion and also trying to live within our means. So believe you me, if you are to ask me to say in politics, the way I'm dealing life now, at family level, and the way I'm doing it now with this political situation, there's more output to the constituency and to help the people than actually what the family used to benefit. Was that time the pot where we used to get, it was limited, and it was only family that was eating from that pot. Now of the pot, the extra family, that is Mafinga. But thanks to the CDF issue that came in, which has supported us not to be dishing out money from our pockets. And but you see, people are used. Said, I'll tell you that the politics, the African politics, are that when you address, you cannot just leave people. Actually now, especially the Zambians, the more you address them, they stop listening to long speeches. Not at all. They want you just explain what you intend to do, just touches there, then the next thing, you leave something for salt. So they will use the salt. So in my region, they will tell you, Akamuche.
Because that has been a serious question that most of us, have had for those that have been vying for political office. What is the motivation? Is the motivation to amass wealth? And if so, how do politicians, amass wealth in this regard? Because if you say that you went into politics to serve the people, why is it then that under the New Dawn administration we have noticed that amongst some of your party members, some are being found wanting, that they amassed so much wealth whilst they were in office? And just this week, we have seen 2 of them being sent to prison.
Sage, when you are in these public offices, there are too many privileges that comes with and temptations. So first and foremost, I was trying to explain that what is cardinal very important. First, you start with the motive. Why are you starting politics? Number 2, if the answer of joining politics is to go and amass wealth, then definitely you make fast money because there are privileges. You can do it. Because even now, where the CDF, which as members of parliament, we are the major custodian. Okay? We would have been sending our companies to do transactions, or sending our proxies to do transactions in some areas. But it goes with the self-discipline. Number 2, of course, this is the topic that we can speak to other. Personally, I have been with the situation of the wrangles that we have had in our party, the Patriotic Front. I have been receiving a lot of offers of money. Now, that itself, it goes with discipline and integrity. That is the most important thing. But my brother, today, if I was to say what, I wouldn't even come and be interviewed here. I would just say, hey guys, follow me wherever I want to be, because tomorrow I'm flying out. I need to do maybe 1 or 2 things. And remember, I'm not too old. I'm young. I would have been all over. You get the point. I would have been all over, and I would have been on the topic of the day. But it goes with the discipline yourself wants to be. But now, coming to my colleagues, I think it is the way we were handling issues as PF at that particular time. I think we went too much. I think, where education, the people were educated at some point, education was not making sense. In that our level of Kadaism went beyond the extremes to be taking center stage and running the country. And because of the same, when you have not worked for the money, you use it carelessly in any way, and that's why we used to see people begging the monies. Now, remember that we had situations to do with regards to the Euro bonds and so on and so forth. And these the bond holders, they were observing that these guys are not paying, but in the country we're able to see their supporters are even paying the monies and showing off each and every day. And it's very unfortunate to my elder brother, whom I've known for a long time and have a lot of great respect for him, Honorable Malanji. I worked with him during the times of MMD, worked together very closely, and I knew he was a very successful businessman. And remember, there was a time he was African president for Golf Union. He had a lot of privileges. Now, really, I don't know where he lost it all. For where I think where people, with the revelations that we were getting, that people actually could go $11 million moved into an account and then being drawn on the counter and using the presidential challenger to go and get the monies and then spend for personal gains. I think that one really is, I told you, with due respect, is my elder brother that I respect. But on this one, I've totally differed with him. I cannot support him. Because look, if you look at the people of my finger, how they were suffering on the Isoka Myombe Road, how they were suffering on Mateno, that's how they were suffering on the crossing points, how they were suffering. So if you'll be very shocked, Isoka Myombe Road, they all needed about 180. By then, it only needed the 180 million kwacha from Isoka up to going to Chama. Really, that road would have been sorted out. But this is the funds that were individuals were trying to use. So, for me, on the corruption, I think one, I've said time and again in many platforms that I'll give credit to President Hakainde for the issues of fighting corruption, because it's the same replica of how President Mwanawasa, may so rest in peace, when he was trying to fight corruption, he was not popular. Even MMD, he was not popular. So just like President HH, unfortunately, people are perceiving that the people that are being targeted are from the Patriotic Front. But I'll tell you, it's very simple. The biggest issue is explain. Sage, Honorable Chabinga, how did you buy this book? I have to explain. And just find, oh, I got this book. My source of income was A. Therefore, it went to B. From this, I paid this. Now, if there's no justification, and that's why it's becoming a problem. And this is why, let me just finish. This is why, even as much as President Hakainde is fighting this corruption, it must be a two-way thing. As it is happening to the former ruling, but some people who worked in the former ruling party, I would wish that it goes even to the people that are current. Because we have seen some of them who are nothing, and they're looking okay. So they have to justify vis-a-vis the salary, vis-a-vis what they are amassing. So these are some of the situations that also they have to remember that one day President Hakainde want to be president. And the same way, I remember very well, the late President Edgar Lungu, when he was being told about the corruption issues which was happening amongst his ministers, he was saying you need to produce evidence for them to do what. And I've seen this also, people wants to move in the same trajectory, that there must be evidence. We need to be extra careful when we are looking for the actual evidence. I think that is the situation. However, there were a lot of people that served under PF. Why is it that others have not been touched? That's why, because of the things that they were doing. Yes, I'm one of them. Yes, I worked there. But I'll tell you, I never did a transaction that was rocky. And when it was a straightforward transaction, actually they were even stepping on the transactions. So, I mean, God was helping in a different way. And also, it's very important in life, Sage, that when you live in a glass house, don't throw stones.
Yes.
And it's very important sometimes that you let the sleeping dog lie. So I think my colleagues, that some of them who have been found on the other side, also it's the careless talking and bragging about their wealth.
Honorable, you have touched on two issues which I'm going to get back to. Number one, you have talked about you being accused of, either being paid by the ruling party or bought by the ruling party so that you speak for them. That is a perception that some people still have, to say, you look at Honorable Chabinga, he speaks with food in his mouth. And so it's very difficult to, to get what he's saying. Are you, Honorable Chabinga, a surrogate? Have you been paid by the UPND? But also, there's another issue which you've touched on, to say the corruption fight is genuine, and some of the members were, taking advantage of the vulnerable and amassed so much wealth. How do you feel leading such an organization as acting president, where your members week in, week out are appearing before court for alleged criminal offenses?
Let me start with the last one.
Sure.
Then I'll get to the other one.
All right.
The last one, I want to answer it in this way. When we lost elections in 2021, there was a paradigm talk that we need to rebrand the party. Now, in rebranding the party, I was one of the person that was talking to fellow colleagues whom we are regarding as our seniors, to say, look, the best thing to do is that all of you have gray areas. Most of you people served in the executive as ministers, or in whichever portfolio, you have gray areas. In Bemba they say, if you tumbanuma, now I'm going to tumbanuma. So what you do is step aside and allow the people who are very neutral, who did not have scandals, to lead and take center stage. And I think when we're trying to say we go to the convention, I think you started seeing a certain team. But I'll give you, there were certain people that we saw that I think this one didn't have too much gray areas. Even amongst those 9 presidential aspirants that were there, we might have 2 or 3 that were a little bit people were trying to question, but they were credible.
Majority, you say, were clean.
Yes, were clean. But unfortunately, that was not the case, because if you looked at the Central Committee, it was the same Central Committee that made us lose elections. So we were wondering. I'll tell you, the person that was put and appointed to be acting president of the party, Honorable Given Lubina, was the campaign manager for the running mate, then Honorable Professor Kanluo, who made us lose elections. And for the record's sake, I'm on record. Do you know that when we were campaigning, I refused for the running mate to come and campaign in my finger because they were going to mess up my campaign. I spoke to Honorable when I was told, can you mobilize the people? The running mate is coming. I called Honorable Given Luina and the Honorable Sylvia Charikosa, who were in the campaign team. I said, no, I don't want the running mate to come to my finger. You will spoil.
How was the running mate going to spoil the campaign?
Because the way how I campaign. I have a way. These people are not liked. How to tell you the truth? And I was told straightforward. So I needed also to be very much straight, that if you want us to win and manage, please go to other constituencies. My finger were set. I refused. I did not just refuse on them, I refused even for Honorable Chimbakambwili. I refused. That he should not come, because when they said he will be coming, mobilize the people, and then you come, I refused as a candidate for PF. So, Sage, I'm not just a person that, me, I speak my mind, and I speak from the heart. When I'm not comfortable with something, I'll tell you. I don't backbite. I'll tell you straight. So, I've been on that record. And Professor Kandlu and the team did not come because I refused even to mobilize the people. I said, if you are coming, you won't find people. So, these are some of the situations. So, you cannot be talking about the rebranding. So, the challenges that we had, when we were in parliament, we were being called thieves and criminals. Now, if you look at the number, by then we were 60. Plus minus about 42, 45, if my mathematics serves me right. We are all new members of parliament. I think about 42, 43. We are new members of parliament. Out of 60. The difference were the people worked in the other regime. Why did they play a back role? This time would have not gone into these problems that we are talking about today.
Maybe they're more experienced.
Which experience? What are you talking about? When you talk about experience, and this is where let me tell you. There are certain people. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I went to Parliament in 2021, and I know there are some ministers who have been ministers who were members of Parliament from 2006. If I wanted to be a member of Parliament, I would have been a member of Parliament in 2006 under Manawasa. I would have. So when you tell me to say no, experience, there's experience when you are doing the ground politics and in the strategizing team, and there's a politics where you are in the center. So this is where people, a lot of people actually, I'll tell you, they've been thinking that, you know, this Chabinga guy just came from Mafinga, he's a villager, he just come and is on the scene. No, my friend, I have been in the game for so many years. So if we are to rate most of the people who are ministers in our ruling party who came after 2011, most of them cannot be experienced than the experience that they have. No, they can't. Except that I delayed to come as a member of parliament in 2021. So when I delayed to come does not mean that I'm a weak guy. No, I don't have experience. And this is why you need to handle things very carefully. I want to give you another simple practical example. There's one person that people don't know that is a politician. Our deputy speaker too, Honorable Moya. He has been in the game for so many years at a tender age. But he only came to parliament in 2021. These are some of them. But when it comes to strategizing and experience in terms of understanding politics. So I just wanted to give you that example. So being late going to parliament does not mean that you are inexperienced. No. So this is the point where we are missing it. Because the same people that you, the Zambian people, rejected us, they're the same people, again, when we're talking about the branding, they're the same people wanted to lead in front. They would have taken a back row and be advisors, and they would have made the party to be stronger and stronger and bounce back, and they continue eating. If they want to continue eating, but they still want to be leading because they want their names to be heard. Things don't work out like that. So for me, that is that's what I can answer on the last question. The second question that you asked, the first question that you asked, that I am a surrogate of President HH. I have told people when I supported very strongly without a single way that I collected from anybody in 2014, 2015, supporting the late President Edgar Chabalungu. How much did they pay me? And this I laugh. And you are a journalist. You must have heard people would have come to say, no, Chabinga gave you money at such a place and this is what we did. Nothing. 2016, I helped them. How much they pay me? Nothing. There was an impeachment at Parliament. I single-handedly stopped the impeachment. So first, I want to tell the Zambian people, if they think that I've seen, you know, this guy is of Mingalato and what, I've just a natural character. So don't attack me from the warfares. Come closer and ask me questions to say, Honorable, how do you operate? I think it's very, very important for people to. But I could see with some other people in diaspora whom I don't even know, whom I've never even met. They don't know my background. They don't know who I am. And every day they wake up in the morning to say I'm a surrogate. Now I'll tell you. I think I was one time a surrogate of Mwanawasa. May so rest in peace. I was a surrogate of Warabi. I was a surrogate when I supported President Lungu. I was a surrogate, right? Why did they say that I was a surrogate between 2015 to 2021? That I was a surrogate. So now, because now I'm privileged now, that time I was doing it outside the fence. Now I am inside the stadium. So I need to see. I have this team, Mafinga, where I want development. And this team, Mafinga, they don't have a proper coach. And we have HH, who is the coach. And he says, hey, Robert, can you play number 9 to help score? Of course I agree, yes. Why? Because I want my team in Mafinga to win. And HH, as a coach, says, play number 9. But I need to have a proper people that are sending me the ball. And I'm scoring. So what can stop me not working? So the point I'm trying to put across here is that President HH didn't have a member of parliament in Mafinga. Actually, in the whole entire Muchinga province. So, did I go for personal gain? Did I come to parliament for rhetoric? My friend, I live in Lusaka to Mafinga to go and stand 1,170 kilometers to go and be talking rhetorics. And some of these guys, I'm laughing, these were even in who are talking the loudest. They don't even understand how Mafinga is. They don't even understand the poverty levels of Mafinga, how it was. Now, look, this is the person who tells me, Sage, no, I'm increasing CDF from 1.6 to 36.1 million. This is the person who says, okay, free education, we're actualizing it. Free education. This is the person, social cash transfer, increase the numbers. My people who are poor are getting social cash transfer. This is the person, this is the president who says, okay, FRA used to pay the people of Mafinga, they supply in July, they are paid in January next year and February. That's what my people in Mafinga used to get, that's how they used to get paid. This man comes in to say, no, the people of Mafinga, you'll be getting paid, you deliver on Monday, Friday you receive your payments. So it depends on an arrangement of the bank. We have a challenge of the bank in Mafinga, we don't have the bank. And because we have to work on the road. We lobby, negotiations, people have been dying too much. No, through the CDF, please put maternity annexes. Increase the health posts, we have increased. Hospitals that were constructed by the Patriotic Front, but not operational. There was nothing inside. Buildings constructed, proper ones. This president says, hey, it won't be a white elephant. Even if I was not voted here, these 2 hospitals must be operationalized. Equipment has been bought. We don't have people moving from emergencies from Mafinga to Isoka. We move on. Our police never had a single vehicle. Police now has a vehicle through CDF. We move on. We didn't have the courts. All criminal matters were being sent to Isoka. Not until some 2 months ago, the subordinate court used to use my office as a court. And the people started thinking a parliamentary office is a court. And if somebody is convicted in the office, people start thinking, oh, that office, they convict people. So it started denting. Through that, we have constructed a court. My brother, I can go on and on and on. The last one is the road, the Soka Mnyombe road, that during my time, some ministers says, no, this road has no economical value. And they diverted this road and take it to another province. I don't want to mention here because I want to be very sensitive. Now, the people of Mafinga, there's no value. But you saw, you are jealous, you saw just a few days ago, we're showing how much maize, stacks of maize that we have in Mafinga. Is that not economical value? So really, what else should I do? What else should I do? Unfortunately, even that time, when Mwanawasa was fighting corruption, anyone who supported Mwanawasa was a surrogate and was paid. Even now, I'm the most abused person on social media. You wake up in the morning, this is Chabinga, this, Chabinga this. Sometimes I laugh, they will even write it to a place I've not even gone, and they say, I was laughing the other day that, oh, Chabinga is in South Africa for a surgery. Do I look like a sick person? Do I look like a sick person? Number two, if I go to South Africa, then I'm following certain people. For God's sake, I've been going to South Africa for the last 27 years. I have some businesses in South Africa with my business partners for 27 years. But because certainly small little individuals are in South Africa and then want to put it to say, no, this guy, when I go to South Africa, I'm on the plane. No, Chabinga has gone to South Africa. So, to answer your question, I have never been paid by UPND. I have never been paid, not even a single way. And I want to advise even some of my colleagues in UPND. Don't start looking at me with a gloomy face that I'm eating from UPND. I'm not eating nothing. I'm just, whatever you see that I'm eating, it's my personal sweat and my personal weight.
Honorable,
lastly, I want to tell you, because some people must even know that I don't even have a single transaction with UPND. Not even a single transaction with UPND. Not even a single business where they can say, no, Chabinga is this business. Nothing. Would have seen it in social media. It would have been all over. And this is how I operate. So for me, I'll tell you, I like President Hakainde Hichilema's style of leadership on the developmental programs and the issues of fighting corruption.
It takes me back to what is going on within the Patriotic Front. In 2023, on the 24th of October, your member, Miles Sampa, and team organized a convention. An election is had. He's elected president, and the story is where we are today. As of today, we've seen different camps form under the Patriotic Front. Now, with only 340 days remaining before voting day, and with your announcement on the 22nd of February this year that you're supporting President Hakainde Hichilema and that the Patriotic Front is now in an alliance, there was a briefing that was held just last week where Honorable Rafael Nakachinda had made a statement with regards intra-party elections. You did respond, and we are warning those that, planning of the convention of some possible action to be taken against them. Now, when are we going to see a united Patriotic Front? Because as things stand, the party is in disarray because there are different camps, and you're in court.
Yes. First and foremost, I want to make one clarification.
Sure.
Mao Sampa did not call for a convention. It's the people that called for the convention because there was some limit. And I was a delegate to that convention. I was a delegate to that convention. Mao Sampa was just a candidate. So I wanted the clarification that Mao Sampa did not call for the convention. It's the people who called for the convention. Because we were wasting time. Time was going and going and going and going. And we were at the point where the Registrar of Societies had issued a circular to all political parties to update their annual returns. That includes the list of office bearers. You get the point. Because at that particular time, when the late president Edgar Chabalungu announced that he was stepping aside, and he wrote to secretary to cabinet at that particular time. When you go to Registry of Societies, his name was still pending as president of the party, and that needed to be amended because there was a letter inside. Yeah. You get the point? Mm-hmm. Because if that continued, there's a letter and President Lungu is this side. I'll tell you, even me, I would have sued Attorney General to say why somebody has retired, but is still appearing on the other list. Mm. Yeah. So that was the thing. Now, because of greediness in our party, because there are certain individuals who feel it can only be them who can be leaders of the Patriotic Front, not other people. By the way, even by coming in, I never even had, look, I'm not a person who is power angry with these positions.
Were you amongst the people that paid the 100,000 kwatas after President Edgar Lungu stepped down? There were people that paid 100,000 kwatas, in plans of...
Actually, point of correction, it was 200,000
kwatas. Yes.
I was not one of them. I was not amongst the people. If you ask me, I'll tell you, I'm one of the person that was supporting Honorable Mundui. I want to tell you, I was one of the person that he was trying to support Honorable Mundui. But little did I know that the person that I was supporting was a coward. Was a coward. Because, you see, because of the, I'll tell you, some of these people, the so-called, no Secretary General, first you must know that Honorable Nakachinda will never be found at a program where there's no money. They must see an opportunity. That's why you see them. Where there's no money, you want to see them. I want the Zambian people must understand these characters. That's how they are. I'm not being personal.
But they're not here to defend
themselves. Yes, I'm saying this. They let them come and defend themselves because they've said, Chabinga is an unknown entity. Okay, I'm an unknown entity. I'm the person with the papers. So the question is, when you say, when are you going to put yourselves in order? They would have engaged me before I made a pronouncement on 22nd of February this year. We would have talked and reconciled. Maybe some things would have worked out. But these are the people that you cannot trust them. You discuss a matter today. Tomorrow, there are the same people who are paying people to attack you. So you can't trust them. I'm very genuine. And if you see, why do and I know journalists try to call, a lot of media stations would want me to feature. But I'm very steady. I need to have a topic. What is it that I'm going to talk about there? So, really, for me, when you talk about that, first, number one, they've been accusing President HH that he has been funding me to destroy the PF. They've been attacking the judiciary to be supporting the confusion in the PF. They've been accusing the Electoral Commission of Zambia to do this. Now, I want to separate the things. Electoral Commission of Zambia, when it banned the issues of, when they wrote the banning of using the party, the guardian of a second political party, it is there. We wrote a letter in January to the inspector. I instructed the Secretary General, Mr. Mona, that because we are in court. By the way, I'm a very organized person. I'll tell you, if me today, that Chabinga start Eastern Province and come through the Common Belt, mobilize. I'm a very serious mobilizer. Very serious mobilizer. Too much. But because I respected that we are in court, so I need to respect the court. But our friends do not respect the courts. They've been insulting the same courts. For us who have been respected, because that's the best referee. Where else? Because otherwise it would be mayhem. We start hacking each other. Is that the way we have to do? No. But we need to go and sort out the issues in court. But when we were in court, we thought as we're in court, it will be a leverage of discussions. Because the courts can ignite discussions. But amidst this, people with impunity, they are abrogating the laws. You hear, this one wakes up, he's an expelled person, he's appointed as leader of opposition. You hear to Honorable Sampa, you were president yesterday. Today, you say, I've given back to power. You are in court. You are still fighting as president. Do you see how confused these things are?
So
Just 1 minute. This is why, allow me to explain to the people.
Sure.
Honorable Mao Sampa says, I am the president of the party. Then he goes to hand over there. He says, I've handed over the party to the late President Galungu. We have reconciled. While he's in court, it still appears. Why didn't he go to withdraw the matters in court? Number one. Number two, you could even see the secors where they are appointed to be leader of opposition. On what basis? National Assembly and institutions, they receive correspondence by the party secretary general. And how do they check that this person? How do you confirm? You cannot just go by social media to some secretary general and then you write a letter. No, Electoral Commission of Zambia, I'm secretary general of the party. No. They also check what are the records say with regards to registrar of societies. You get the point? The person they're saying is not secretary general was not appointed by me. Mr. Morgan Ngona was appointed by Mao Sampa and ratified by the Central Committee. Even the day that was trying to fire Mao Sampa, when he was trying to fire the Secretary General, what he was supposed to recommend that I'm dropping this one with recommendation to the Central Committee. Not the way he did. He's in South Africa. They buy him the tickets in the morning. He's in Lusaka. He fires him. He appoints himself. That is Secretary General. Come on. And you are dealing that with this is the largest political party and without proper systems. You need to put systems. So when you look at that, no, it goes further. When we were at the funeral of President Edgar Chagwalungu, the seniors members of the PF called me to negotiate that we want to use the secretariat. And allowed it. When I allowed it, what were they saying? They were sending surrogates to be writing on social media. We need to see Chabinga. When we see Chabinga, he will beat. When we see Chabinga, really? Are they serious? I was very sensitive. Nanali pasa chilechilo, pasa secretariat in 10 minutes. Nani pasa chilechilo in 10 minutes? Don't see when a lion is sleeping, you say it's an impala. No. And sometimes you need to check. When I'm talking, I talk with confidence. I talk with confidence. And I am not a shaken character. Nobody can just come and just will push me around. No. That's why I don't get money from people. Because if I was collecting money even from UPND, that would have been my weakness. So my strength, because I don't collect money from people, I use my own resources. In whatever I'm doing, I use personal resources. And if you ask them, during that time, even now, they have even created a program at Parliament because I stopped members of Parliament from contributing monies to the PF account, which they were deducting members of Parliament. I said, I told SG, we need to suspend this, so not until we put our house in order. What did these people do? They created an organization where they were sending members of Parliament to start contributing to that to that kind of arrangement. So you see, now they've been taking an advantage of those members of Parliament who are saying he would adopt. So some of the members of Parliament, because they were clinging to them, so lack of fear, they start becoming. Now I want to take the advantage of this platform. You members of Parliament, I am the only leader of opposition. I'm the only legitimate. So, where I'm the only one. Yes, you are saying time is ticking and this time is going. Adoptions are coming. It will be very difficult. Who was Rugwaro? I'm the one with papers. And Secretary General. Who was the signature specimen at the Electoral Commission of Zambia? It's me and SG, Mona. So I don't know. Even when they are complaining to say no, the usage of party regalia, why should they be using the party PF regalia when we are not participating? I am not. We don't belong to Tonse. We don't belong to Tonse. Even when they have been saying, the PF, any person from PF must lead the Tonse. We are not members of the Tonse. So let them be with the Tonse. Us, because of the confusion and we don't have time to campaign, and we're not hyper, and we don't change the winning team. So far, so good. HH is doing very well, my friend. It's very simple. We were in negative 2.8 GDP. It has moved, I'm sure. We are waiting for it as it comes, whether it's next month or when. I'm not an accountant. I hope Minister of Finance can give those details quickly. We might be moving to 6.5 from nowhere. Unfortunately, the same way. Mwanawasa between 201 and 205, it was not popular in the country, and people really needed it. They wanted to say no, we change. Number, I'm looking at people who are saying change.
Now that the
Diaspora and the change, they've run away. Be here in the country, don't run away so that you are part and parcel of fighting for change. You know, my brother, you cannot be eating the food. You say you want to eat the food. Your friends are inside eating the food on the table. You are saying, we are going to eat you outside. No, be on the table. So what I'm referring to is that people have to fight it inside. So I know President HH has not been popular to some of the people because of the drastic measures that is putting in place. However, he needs a strong team. The team that must support with his core, business and value. But if there's people who are becoming very comfortable and they're just looking at what will happen tomorrow, you need to balance. If you are doing the economics, you need to manage also the political situation. So, as President HH is doing the economical arrangement, there must be some people who should be doing the politics. So that these are moving side by side. But if they're not doing that, the UPND, I want to advise them, we might have a very lean parliament where we'll have a lot of independence than most of the people from the ruling UPND. This is a very serious, this is what is on the ground. This is obtaining on the ground. It's a reality. It's sort of guessing. So, you need to manage that. So, my advice to President HH is balance up economics and the politics. Do the economics and do the politics. Do the corruption and do the politics. If we just concentrate on the economical aspect without the politics, Mr. President, you end up having, because at Dawato only have 15 members of parliament. The rest are independents. And they can, now, because we have people who will be outside with a lot of forces, they will change the narrative. So, to answer your question in summary, my friend, those who are announcing to say they'll go to the convention, who is going to, how are they going to apply the application to the police for them to have the convention? Because as we have written to the police, Inspector General of Police, that we, for now, we are still in court. We want all these matters to finish. Then we can go for the convention. You go to the convention when things are bad, and that is inciting. I want to advise my brother, Honorable Nakachinda. If you belong to a political party that you are saying which can form government, there must be civility in the way we are doing things.
You're watching Spotlight, the special edition, and we are hosting the Patriotic Front acting president and also Mafinga member of parliament, who's also the leader of opposition, that is Honorable Chabinga. Now, Honorable, you have highlighted a number of issues, and I was getting to the press briefing that was held, which you have alluded to. But now, you talk of this alliance with the UPND that you announced in February. What are the conditions of this alliance? Are you going to be running it? Are you still discussing? What is the condition? Because there are some members of your political party that are questioning that particular decision and want to know what exactly have we entered into with Honorable Robert Chabinga being, in an alliance as PF with the UPND.
First and foremost, as a leader of the party, with documents and Lugwalo, legitimately so. Not of the window, not where you are. My brother, first I must tell you, say that I sleep even very peacefully. And sometimes I wake up in the night, check the safe, check the documents, and then I said, oh, I'm in charge. Because you can find tomorrow that your name is missing. You sleep nicely, you check, and I'll call my SG, are you okay that side, Mr. Angon? And he says, yeah. Look, we're still in charge. So sometimes we joke when I travel out. I said, SG, I hope we have not sold the party, because when I leave instrument of powers with him. So we'll laugh about it. I made a pronouncement. What remains now is sitting down with our colleagues in UPND so that we strategize the modus operandi on how we are going to work. Then Sage said, I'll tell you, don't bring the issues of running the TA. Me, I don't operate in the. I don't want you to be.
But you're
1 minute. I've said this. First, the issue of when I made a pronouncement of working with President HH, I did not have an issue first from the word go a personal gain. It's the principle of my finger. When I made a pronouncement of supporting President HH for 2026, it is an issue of continuity of the presidency.
Right.
So, for me, wherever I am, don't start bringing issues. Oh, are you going to be running mate? What? No. He has his own people that have had alliances before with him. How do I just go into
you're commanding an opposition with
of course, I'm commanding, but for me, I've told you, I'm not a power-hungry person. I believe everything comes from God. If God says yes, yes. If God says no, no. That's how it is. So, for me, the alliance that we're trying to talk about is one, I need to safeguard my councillors. I need to safeguard my council chairpersons. I need to safeguard my members of parliament. So that I cannot have members of parliament who comes to parliament only one term and they are done. They don't know where to start. So we need to have a system. So we'll start talking. There's still time. These things happen even in the last minute. But the truth of the matter is that I want to safeguard those. Especially, you must remember that this region, the eastern, northern Mchinga, Luapula, and the Copper Belt, and Lusaka, PF is too strong. Very strong. And I'll tell you, even the structures of PF are intact. All they have been waiting for is for me to go around. So you party structures who are there, just relax. I am coming there. We just want to remove all these impediments that we have had. We don't want to be coming there as confused people. We need, when we are coming there, we are coming with the proper, organized structures. So this issue of where Honorable Nakachinda was making a pronouncement, I'll repeat. Nothing will happen as long as I remain president. And there shall be no meeting. And I want to advise the Inspector General of Police that we have done letters. We have not announced any convention. We have not announced any inter-party elections at all throughout the country. We will tell the people to say, now this is what we are doing. We will announce. So don't want those things. Nami papa ata mwika tukona tuwalewa insensitive. And those people want to dare. I've said it. I said it in my finger. Dynamites come into small package. I'm a dynamite in a small package. Those who wants to dare, I'm not threatening. I'm just advising and warn. Please mwafiashi tuwalimite mwasana chabana mwikala kunganda than kuya convention ya kutotia kwa utukwa abu mwafia. We have not called for the convention. So those, by the way, the individuals, Honorable Nakachita has got his own camp. Honorable Mundubila has got his own camp. Honorable Luminda has got his own camp. I don't want to be kind of all that. And now, they are fighting positions this side without a single paper. And this reminds me, they have been misleading the social media to say Honorable Sampa has written to court that he had a convention which was illegal. Go and do a search. He has never filed not even a single document pertaining to that arrangement. And if he had filed, my brother would have hammered him following day. Same day would have hammered him with perjury. Same day would have hammered him with perjury because he signed a lot of documents and affidavits purporting that it was included. And him, how does he go a convention alone? He was a participant. It's the people that called for the convention. That's number one. Number two, when the people that he expelled, himself, Miles, they went to write a consent. You write the consent in court. When I had applied for alternation of parties because Mao Sampa was expelled and he stands expelled, immediately they've been writing to say we expelled Chabinga. Who expelled him? And where? Which central committee? Whatever central committee, when they were trying to say no, Chabinga were expelling him, it had no regard. You are outside. You are outside and you are claiming to say you can expel somebody. So that was problem number one. Number two, they are saying they need to sign the consent. Me and Mr. Morgan, we applied to the court as interested parties for joinder. The lawyers, neither the lawyers for the Munduvire and others, 7 others, neither the lawyers for Mao Sampa objected to our joinder. And we are joined in. And they want to mislead so that the country can be on fire. People can start working against the judiciary with impunity. And they're saying they need to come back in 2026 with that kind of behavior without even following the law and procedures.
You labeled your political party when you held your press briefing this week as a confused or political party that has a lot of confusion. Now, should we expect, based on your words, should we expect the people you are saying should not go ahead with the planned convention to go ahead, just so that they fulfill what you are saying, confusion?
How can they, amongst themselves, they are divided. First, let's create this for argument's sake. We have Team A and Team B. Team A is Team Chabinga and Morgan, and we have Team B, the given wind and others. We give them given wind and others. Amongst themselves, they are confused. They are fighting. They have developed camps. So how does Chabinga come into the say is a confused? He has disturbed the party. Amongst themselves, there's Team A. If you come to Team A, my friend, it's the most sweet camp. Team Chabs is a proper team, and Morgan. If you talk about organized kulaka, people live. You know, we are organized character. And do you know what? I've never known Miss Honorable Mona for so many years. I've never known him. I met him with Honorable Mona in 2023. Then I looked to item what I think we can collaborate because there is a sobriety here. In confusion. So how are they going to go to the convention While among themselves, there's Team Ruinda, Team Nakachida, Team Mundubile. Amongst themselves. So you want me to be part of the confusion? And now those who are confused, they are fighting. They don't even have a single paper. It's like, I'll give you a very practical example. You are fighting for a woman where your friend has paid in Obola. And you guys have not paid, and you are the four of you. And you are busy fighting. She's my wife and my woman. Are people going to see that you are normal? Then there's a problem somewhere. So when I tell you that, yes, our party, we are known for confusion. Because we don't believe in dialogue. Even when President Michael Sata died, how many people wanted to be president? We had so many people, my brother. So for them to start saying HH is the one funding confusion. How? How is he funding the confusion? When he was HH there, when we were in 2015 or 2014, we had confusions. He was not there. Was he there in when we did not go for the convention? Do you know that we didn't even to thank HH? Do you know what? I mean, I'll tell you. The status, the way PF was, if I was president in 2021, for example, PF would have been disbanded, would have deregistered it, because there was too much confusion. And most of the people there who were at the register of status, even when in the concept they said, we take back the list of office bearers to its original. Most of them were questionable. Now, for you to go to qualify to register of societies, my friend, by the way, do you know that register of societies, there is no physical. Everything you need to applaud. So, my friend, if you are questionable with a criminal, bam, it will never, the system of register of societies will never applaud you. But these people want to say, no, physically, not even the minister can change. Not even the president himself can go and sit there and change. That's how the system of register of societies is. My friend, you need to applaud. Oh, Mr. Sedi Conjera, yes, okay, Narasi, blah, blah, blah. If one letter is missing, it does not correlate. There's nothing. They need clearance from the police. That you must be clean. Because as a political party, you are possible to form government. So how do you form government if the office bearers have records of criminality? How?
Honorable Chabinga, some members of the Patriotic Front have issued statements against your alliance partner, the UPND, criticizing how they have handled the economy. They are saying there's so much load shedding. They're saying the cost of living keeps going up. Fortunately, it went down as of this past month, and as monitored by JCTR. But what then is this message? What is your analysis rather of the cost of living and the performance, economic-wise, of the UPND as we are heading towards the elections? Because the more that these voices from the Patriotic Front speak, the more certain people that have the love for the Patriotic Front will listen, especially that there's still this confusion. So what is your message to those people that have doubt in the UPND?
My first point is that change is very difficult to adapt. Do you know that I'll start in 1991 when President Chilwa came in. Do you know that in 1996 President Chilwa was losing elections? Clean. Because people, I'll tell you, I was on the government when the mini meal from the mines was cut off. No free mini meal. It brought a problem. When the coupons were removed, people were not looking at that the economy was bad. They were looking at what they were eating at that particular time. Keep it a tab. Keep a tab on that one. 1991, 2001, Mwanawasa was not popular between 2001 2004 because he wanted to fix the economy and put it in order. not until there was donor confidence. We have had the people that were collecting money, withdrawing money, cash. Money moves from treasury. It is sent to another country. They go get cash and get the presidential plane, bring the money in the country. They have their own boys. Do you think their boys will be happy when that thing has been stepped on? They will never be happy. They are the ones crying the loudest because they were getting and eating the money without sweating for the money. So, President Church closed the bit of the taps to have the donor confidence to put things in order. Yes, the issue of load shedding that we are crying today, this issue, we never invested too much as a country. As the population was increasing, we were not looking at other form of energy. But I think with the programs that they have lined up, and if you look at what they have lined up, we can see that there is hope. For example, before I came here, actually I was talking to ZESCO board chairman, who said, look, Honorable, we have put up a mechanism that along the line of rail, especially between Lusaka and Goa, by December we need to finish load shedding. That was strategy. That is giving hope. The issue of the economical situation. Tell me which country is doing fine after the COVID. We'll start with South Africa here. My friend, South Africa, the GDP, even now it has been growing by 1%. 1%. Us, under 4 years, we moved to from minus 2.8, as I said, and we moved to plus 4.5. South Africa, the bigger economy, still stuck at 1%. That's the reality. So, if you look at so these problems are not only in Zambia at all, except when you are used for free things. You wake up in the morning. Those who are crying the loudest, my friend, there were those people who the owner is in diaspora, the time they're waking up, they have even changed the title deeds with impunity.
Allow me, Honorable, to allow some phone calls for those that want to engage with our guest tonight. The number is soon popping on the screen. You can call that number and interact with Honorable Chabinga, our guest, for tonight. We've received a message. Moderator Chabinga Maume, I think Taliachiwagwa, please ask for me talk time from Honorable Chabinga. Please, and he's making a lot of sense to advise the UPND to do both politics and economic growth. Let the UPND eat with the grassroots. Chileshe from Garden Township, where people have now gotten new roads courtesy of the UPND. That is one of the messages that has come through. Read some of the online messages as well. So Chileshe Vadefo could talk time, Honorable. Hello, good evening.
David is my name.
David, thank you very much. Where are you calling us from?
Zambezi.
All right, please go ahead, David from Zambezi.
I appreciate moderator with articulation.
All right.
I'm saying that I appreciate your articulation.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate Honorable Chabinga, how he's articulating issues.
All right.
I also love how patriotic he is. I think by the end of the day, let's not people give wrong information to the public. And let the people, those that in parliament, give truly information on the ground.
All right.
But by the end of the day, I want to ask Mr. Chabinga, truly, are you an acting president for PF, or you are just be thoughtful with what the European government is doing. Thank you very much. Not wasted, that is thank you.
All right, thank you very much, David from Zambezi, for that contribution. Hello, good evening. So Alec from Eastern Province, thank you very much for getting through. Please go ahead and talk to the Honorable. So that we allow others as well to ask.
Okay. Honorable Chabinga, mnaenda convention in Mukhalaki, president, Vatican.
All right.
If
All right, thank you very much, Alec, for that contribution. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, thank you, sir. The name again? 1K from Chongwe. Please go ahead, sir.
I want to good evening, Honorable Chabinga.
Good evening, Mr. 1K.
Yes, good evening, demonstrator.
Good evening, thank you, sir.
Yes. Nifuna kufunza Honorable Chabinga. I agree that she has said that she acting president of PF. I think I'm asking also the same question. But I think I need to commitment the condition. Namusaka kuti ya president wa Japan. Let me say one here. If it is that she didn't did that condition of miles and for illegal. How did you feel to announce so that all members ask people who take Patriotic Front to participate in that convention? You did the criminal one. Then, second, you are Chabinga. You are saying, you know what you are doing in Chabinga. You can't stop us to go to convention, but Chabinga. But Chabinga said, you don't know when things started. All what you are bringing is Chabinga, you are going to be the brother. You are just bringing confusion.
All right.
Do what you do as a wise man, Mr. Chabinga. When we are saying going to front of people, you should be very truth. Don't be an hypocrite.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution, Honorable. Let me just push in one final call before you can respond to our callers. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, thank you, sir. What is your name and where are you calling us from? 2-1. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you in Naka.
Please go ahead. You have a minute, sir.
Mr. Chabinga, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, sir? Mr. 2-1.
I'm fine, fine. Mr. Chabinga, the best thing to do is to go to convention, then you choose your vice president, and then so on. Even like those MPs, you need to take all those MPs you have. You are saying you are the president. Then you sit down with them. You make one thing. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yeah, it has to do the right thing. That's why we appreciate you. And you know that you have PS president.
All right. Thank you, 2-1, for your contribution. All right. Thank you very much to everyone that has managed to call in. We know there's so many people that are, calling, trying to talk to our guests tonight. If time allows, we'll open the phone lines again. Honorable, we've received 5 calls for the moment. Chileshe from Lusaka, there's David from Zambezi, Alec from Eastern Province, 1K from Chongwe, as well as 2-1 from Lusaka.
Okay, I'll start with Mr. Alec and Mr. 1K because I think these questions were similar. Where they are saying, where did we go to the convention for me to be elected as acting president? And I'll ask them the question themselves to say, when Honorable Winda, which convention appointed Honorable Winda at which convention did we go to where Honorable Winda was elected as the acting president? Now, maybe they don't know and understand. I want to tell them. When Mr. Mao Sampa fired the Secretary General and dissolved the Central Committee of the party, At that particular time, the Central Committee had to convene an emergency meeting, and I was not even in the country. And themselves, they said, as the SG is putting an injunction, as we are doing the matters in court, we need to have somebody to drive the seat. In their own wisdom, that's when I was proposed to act by the Central Committee with minutes. If you want, Mr. Ali and 1K, we can even send you minutes tomorrow. Communicate with Mr. Sage, give us your details. We'll send you the minutes as we work in a very organized way. So I did not impose myself on the issues of the acting president. And I've told you, because we're in court, I don't want to mix the two. We are in court and then managing these other things. There are certain things that actually you people, members of the PF, that you don't know on how that even secretariat has been abused. If I tell you, even the 200,000 kwachas which people were paying as candidates, it was nowhere to be seen. Land was sold at $1 million was paid where secretariat was supposed to be. People shared the money. And you are busy, people like you are Aliki, the one who can, that's why you can't even give you actual names. You are clapping. I could hear your tone that you are elderly. Don't just clap. Be wise. Don't just clap for the sake of clapping. There was no proper accountability. And if they are lucky that I've never used that tip, because I would even, if I decided that tomorrow I hire forensic audit for people to be audited at that secretariat, a lot of people can go to jail, and the people will start saying, no, Chabinga is working. They'll start accusing me to say, no, I'm getting instructions from HH for them to what. But these are internal issues. People have been eating money with impunity. So that's the other thing. Then I want to say to this Mr. Tuan. Mr. Tuan, we have a structure. We have a structure. If you didn't know that, you call your friends, the MPs. That's why I can tell you. Honorable Andrew Rubusha, Member of Parliament for Chipangali, is the Vice President political. Honorable Jonathan Daka, Member of Parliament for Chadiza, is the Vice President administration. And the other position, Honorable Anton Mumba is our party national chairman, Member of Parliament for Kantanshi. First, we are to put up a very small working team which will be helping to manage the issues of courts and the other things. This is how we are working. We are not going to be working chintome. So I want to advise that whenever they forget convention with impunity, Mukai, just try to go. Just try to go. But we need you. We don't want to go because you are a voter. You are a voter. You need to go and follow the right thing and do the correct thing. So as you are telling me that I should do the right thing. So with me, when I say I'm working with HH on developmental programs, then I'm not doing the right thing. If I work with you people, some of them who have been doing things with impunity and not correct, then I should be the greatest. No ways. Unfortunately, life the way it is that usually the people that follows the majority, the most we expect a lot of people following blindly. But I'll never be in that part of the path. So if I say today that no, HH is not doing fine, then I'll be the greatest man. I don't work like that. I give credit where it is due. So I know that even from my close friends, my popularity, I'm not popular to my friends that were eating free things in the PF. By virtue of that, I'm supporting HH. So that one, I would rather even maintain even a small, out of 20 million, if I'm supported even by 2 million, it's okay. I have people. Than being supported by bunches of people where we're just doing wrong things. I want to be part and parcel of that kind of. So that's why these guys cannot even give their names very correctly. Because why are you hiding? If you're a genuine Zambian, don't hide your details.
Someone has responded online to say people are afraid to give their names because of the cyber law.
Which cyber law is a plain conversation here. It's a plain conversation. I'm saying here that Allah, I'm the only one at the moment on this earth under Patriotic Front who allow for the convention. Anybody else, go and have the convention in heaven. If go and have a convention in heaven, here on earth, I'm in charge.
All right, Honorable, let me read a few messages online from those that are following us on our social media platform, Facebook. Now, Namu Nkosi Musulwe says, Honorable Chabinga, you're on point. Don't give up as PF acting president, so make sure you clean it up. Shimubanga says people are scared to say their real names because of Chabinga and UPND cyber laws. Jonathan Impundu says, I'm watching from Kasama, thank you very much. Shimubanga says only chairperson of PF needed to call for the convention, no one else. Obert Sintosicho says no, it targets those who served in every ruling party to ascertain whether the wealthy or the wealth they amassed was done according to their salaries and businesses or through corruption. That is the answer to the question, the fight against corruption and how genuine it is. There's a message from Jacob Sakala who says, Bakalamba, Tine Nikolesa, please, Kulilesa Kalamba Muli. All right, that says Tine Nikolesa. Then Honorable Jack Simbotwe says, interactive conversation, watching from Monzia. Those are some of the messages that we could quickly, read. But also, let me allow 2 phone calls as we wind up. We have just 5 minutes for us to close the program this evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. What is your name, sir?
My name is Gift Chobe.
Gift Chobe, please go ahead. And where are you calling us from?
Calling you from Chikankata, Southern Province.
Please go ahead, Mr. Chobe.
Let me first congratulate Mr. Chabinga, honorable member.
All right.
The honest man, the honorable member from the opposition who, as a president, who speaks the truth and who can lead the role of becoming a pure member of parliament. When we elect members of parliament, we elect them to go and represent us. Not going there to go and doing politics. Members of parliament are there to make laws and to submit the problems of the people in their constituencies.
Right.
They represent everyone from the opposition, because when Mr. Robert Chabinga, Honorable Robert Chabinga, on his constituency, we don't have any UPND member of parliament. We have a PF member of parliament who represents everybody. When he goes back to parliament, let tell his fellow members of parliament so that we are representing people, like the president, what he is saying.
Right.
He is representing people. So congratulations, you continue be as you told us on this area, the president of the PF. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chobe, for a contribution. All right. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Bwino muli bwanji ndino bakola batu ba last takupasa 1 minute ndino ndani mutumira kuti but David Livingston, please go ahead. Stanley Chilumba Livingston.
Achoma bachilumba mwachoma kuru. Zikom.
All right, thank you very much, David, for that contribution. And unfortunately, there is no democracy in broadcasting. Honorable, we have just under 2 minutes. I'll allow you the 2 minutes to respond to the callers and to give your final words.
Mostly, I think these are complementaries. from Mr. Gift Chole from Chikakata, and Mr. Chilumba Stanley from Livingstone. Indeed, they have mentioned the issues with regards that as members of parliament, yes, when we're elected, we should not be political. It's true. I think what is important is that I've said time and again. When you're elected, from when you assume office, stop politicking. Work for the people. When work for the people, we start politics. We're having elections next year. Next year we can start politics. That is the situation. But if you start politics from the first day you enter, you fail to deliver because you're wasting much of your energies in politicking instead of wasting energies. If you ask me, you rarely find me ask questions in parliament on trying to what, because I lobby, I engage one-on-one, and for me that is the best approach that I've seen that it has worked out. So I think as members of parliament when we're elected, I think that's the approach that we should do, we should take. And to my colleagues, I know politics now has started, they're busy going around, even in my constituency, they're trying to try their luck to say maybe they can, and I'll tell you that they are even being funded by some of these people to say, no, let's fund in my finger people 3-4 so that they can remove Chabinga. Hey, nipatali. So the point I'm trying to say is I want to advise our colleagues that are campaigning, going on the ground. Let's campaign with the civility. Let's campaign with the unity and love. For the Patriotic Front, that somebody said, Muletina ko les. Alanda mutina lesa sana fe. If you did not know that I'm married to a reverend, so I pray every day. She's my guardian angel. So I'm not coming from a confused home. I'm coming from a very well organized home. And that's why you will never find me into disorganization. You will never find me if you where people are disorganized. You won't see me because I'm always found where there's the organization. To the President of the Republic of Zambia, you are the president for all Zambians. Those who voted for you and those who did not vote for you. And we have seen you have taken development everywhere. We have seen your love even to us who have constituencies in the rural areas where have traditional leaders, where they can be able to, they're mingling around throughout. Continue the spirit. Yeah, people talk this and that. I want to tell you, for me, they have attacked me because of you. I've become very popular because of you. My life has been risked because of supporting you and your noble cause. But we are equal to the task. The task that we have is to save the people of Zambia with love, unity, and prosperity. I thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Robert Chabinga, there, our guest for tonight. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for a special edition of Hard Ball, and also look forward to our program, the reality show PR Girls More Than Just a Business, where it's coming up as well. Episode 4 will be showing tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. We are back with Spotlight on Monday. Thank you very much. My name is Sadie Nkwajara. On behalf of the entire team here at Crown Television, pleasant viewing.
Oh my goodness.